As we all may be aware, it has been stated that the country received the unpleasant news of petroleum products with a high level of methanol, which is not suitable for local consumption by motorists in the country. We also are awash with the tales of how these petroleum products have caused some damages to vehicles before the government's intervention in mopping the quantities already in circulation, which consequently resulted in long queues and dispensing outlets across the countries. Therefore, it is imperative to put issues in proper perspective because there have been insinuations and accusations that the NNPC, under the leadership of Mele Kyari, is wholly responsible for these perceived shortcomings. As a group devoted to the issues of governance towards the overarching objectives of ensuring that the government fulfills its social contracts to the people, it is our considered position that there is more than meets the eyes with regards to the importation of adulterated fuel into the country. Unfortunately, those responsible for this malaise have succeeded in misleading unsuspecting members of the general public into believing that the NNPC is responsible for the infractions that have brought about untold hardship on the populace. We wish to state that the importation of petroleum products into the country is a complex exercise that requires the input of numerous stakeholders, including the NNPC, oil and gas traders, marketers, and others in the value chain. Therefore, the attempt to heap the blame on the doors of the NNPC is an attempt at being clever by half, in the sense that there are specifications that have been established with regards to the quality and quantity of PMS to be imported into the country by relevant authorities through the government's direct sales and direct purchases vendors across the country, DSDP. We must be mindful that the DSDP agreement is a type of swap whereby a chain amount of crude oil is exchanged in return for the equivalent amount of refined petroleum products. One of the criteria is that international companies must have a Nigerian affiliate or subsidiary or partners within the Nigerian company engaged in downstream oil and gas businesses, particularly petroleum products. The implication is that importers of petroleum products into the country has left the realms of the NNPC to the international corporations and their Nigerian affiliates or partners. This has also ensured that the Nigerian affiliates or partners must guarantee the product's quality and quantity. It is thus our considered opinion that if the above is the case, we consequently wonder how the NNPC can be seen as culpable when the Nigerian partners are responsible for liaising with their foreign partners in ensuring adherence to specifications suitable for the Nigerian market. We wish to state unequivocally terms that these Nigerian affiliates behind the importation and marketing of petroleum products in Nigeria have refused to admit their culpability and instead resorted to blaming the NNPC for reasons best known to them. The role of the NNPC is to deliver monthly crude oil lifting on a free on-board FOB basis to the supplier, who shall in turn deliver petroleum products of Nigerian standard specification to NNPC on a delivered at place DAP basis at designated safe ports in Nigeria, and the petroleum product to be delivered shall be equivalent in value to the crude oil received from NNPC, subject to the general terms and conditions. We are consequently tempted to believe that the companies involved in importing the adulterated petroleum products into the country must have willingly undertaken to compromise standard of maximizing profits. This position is hinged on the fact that it is common knowledge that the NNPC has on numerous occasions raised the alarms on the nefarious activities of oil marketers in this regard. We are also aware that the NNPC has multiple checks to ensure adherence to stipulated terms and conditions in importing petroleum products into the country. But the greed and exploitative tendency of petroleum products marketers are always at play and responsible for what is experienced in the country today. Nigeria First wish to absolve the NNPC of any blames. In this regard, it has been established beyond reasonable doubt through extensive analysis of the petroleum importation regime in Nigeria. Under the current leadership of NNPC, under Mele Kyari, the entrenchment of accountability and transparency have been watchword. It is also on record that the oil and gas industry has witnessed tangible reforms that stakeholders have commended for repositioning the Nigerian oil and gas industry into a competitive business environment. It is therefore essential to highlight the fact that the long queues experienced in the country are not as a result of the failure of government on the Muhammadu Buhari-led administration, but instead of the greed of unpatriotic and despicable activities of petroleum product marketers in collaboration with their foreign partners in shortchanging the country of its hard earning just to make more money. Our firm position is that the relevant authorities in the country must ensure that those behind the importation of adulterated petroleum products into the country are adequately sanctioned to serve as deterrent to others. We wish to advise the members of the unsuspected general public not to fall victim to the ignorable attempt by these saboteurs that do not have the country interests at heart. Thank you and God bless you.